We have been wanting to do this for quite some time, but we are here now in Leigh's house. I have been dying to ask her some pressing questions on her design, on like how she came up with some things, like how she pulled all this together, and we're finally ready to share it all. So what is your favorite thing in the whole house? Like if you could only pick one thing, what would it be?
Well, so the newest room in the house, it's now my office, but Aly created this magnificent office for herself. I'd look at it, how she just was so diligent with it, and how it was inspiring, so I of course had to create my own.
It's so cozy too.
Oh.
I mean, the textures and the feeling that you get when you walk into that room, it's so layered and luscious and just yummy.
Cozy. Literally on Sunday, I took a nap in there because I knew no one would find me.
Yeah.
And the best part about it was our guest room, and it still is because the couch, folds out, and actually a really comfortable fold out. So when Dustin's parents come and stuff, it's still functional.
Packed a lot into a small room. I love that. Take us into the great room. This space is like so comfortable. It's my favorite room in the whole house. I mean, this kind of whole downstairs area that we'll take you through. But tell me a little bit about what inspired you. Like what did you want to create in here? How did you get to kind of that end point?
I mean, it's so much about what you and I have created with Pure Salt. It's the perfect marriage of style and function, which is what we believe creates design. I'm like Pure Salting it right now, but in all honesty, like that was truly what went into the design here. Like I wanted it, of course, to feel well designed, but also just comfortable and relaxed in a place that we can truly live in. Obsessed with this table. Yeah, does Jacob color all over it? Absolutely. Yeah. But I love wearing it in, and I love living in it. So kind of creating these things that allows us to live, but then also function too. There's places for things. There's places for the kids' toys. There's places for homework stuff, like being very organized and efficient with where things are.
I love too, personally, my favorite thing is coming over and kicking my feet up on the couch or something, and then the kids are here and like we're all in the same room, but we all have plenty of space to spread out.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable and it's so relaxing.
Before the house was built, I loved the fact that it was such an open floor plan, but then also the indoor-outdoor space. The fact that you could open the doors and like, here's one table, there's the next table, and you're right, the kids could be eating here, we could be outside, which we normally are, drinking our glass of wine, watching the sunset. Just has all the things that we need to live the way that we want to live.
Bringing us from my favorite spot, the couch, into the kitchen. I personally think you've layered in so many awesome textures in here, and it's so inspiring, and it's still so calming and beautiful. So tell me a little bit about what you love most about the kitchen.
Playing off of just making the whole house feel comfortable, relaxed, I very much wanted that feeling in there as well. Being inspired by you, I wanted to, when I was creating the house, like I actually wanted to cook more, which I don't do often.
Me either.
But I wanted to create a space that just was calm and serene. I worked with a lot of neutrals and naturals and played with textures. The mystery white countertop with the woven pendants and the handmade subway tile, and then obviously like leaning into that Spanish style, bringing in the stucco and the hood. Trying to make it feel just very relaxed, not too much. Because I don't know. For me, the kitchen can feel overwhelming sometimes.
So from the kitchen, let's move into where we are now, the dining room.
I've always honestly dreamt of having, a cute little breakfast nook off the kitchen, and obviously this also has to act as our formal dining space. So why not have both in one? I gave myself a little bit of liberty, creating the oversized banquette with the oversized table, added the dry bar just to
the dry bar
have a wonderful space for it's very much a necessity. And the cool thing, that dry bar then connects directly to the outdoor space. It all just really feels like one.
Super connected. From here, let's kind of take everybody outside. I think with the backyard, it's a small footprint, but you fit in 4 different areas, which I think is so awesome. Every single square inch is used up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of living in Southern California. The backyard or the outdoor space is such a true extension of the home. And so even though my backyard footprint isn't big, I felt like I could really maximize the space with all the things that we need for our family. It operates as 4 different rooms. It just maybe outside. So I've got my casual, cozy living space. I've got my dining area. I've got my outdoor kitchen / bar area, and I've got another little zen place for me with my outdoor garden.
Love that.
And my sauna. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, but again, our backyard is not big.
Yeah, it's perfect. And when it's connected to all the space inside, like it's everything you ever need and more.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So then let's go. I want to go upstairs. So take us upstairs. We're in your primary bedroom, which is a retreat. You walk in there and it's high ceilings, beautiful bed. I mean, layers and layers of linens and pillows, which I'm sure your husband loves. I instantly feel relaxed when I go in there. So tell me your philosophy behind creating that space.
Like we do for a lot of our clients. I mean, this was the first time I felt like I could actually do that for myself too. How do I create this almost escape for Dustin and I, where we do feel almost like we're in our own little mini hotel? COVID inspired that too, because just having a space where it's fully functional and just outside of where you are day in and day out. I love our mattress and our sheets, lots of layers, cozy textures in the bed.
Yeah.
I did play into like the higher ceilings, which I love, and brought in a chandelier that's like one of my favorite from our shop.
Yeah.
I even like took one of our little dressers and I made it a coffee bar, because why do you only have a coffee bar
That's so
in a hotel
cute.
room? And then just with the master bath, just like the kitchen, playing with materials that I know I won't get sick of, that I know I love. Handmade Delige, more of the mystery white, leather, marble, neutrals, naturals. Again, create that calm, serene environment, but then to also know that I won't get sick of it.
Yeah, definitely not. I love that. Okay, so take me into Miss Audrey's room.
Well, in there, I wanted this to be the last time that we do this until maybe she gets, out of high school.
Between age.
I know.
Yeah.
But so that's why with the wallpapers, it was leaning into a more mature paper, but I'm having to be a little bit more playful by putting, an old kind of vintage inspired paper on the ceiling that hopefully she'll love forever. I mean, I think I would.
I think it's so fun.
And then, just playing with like different elements. I mean, the loft beds are tricky because they take up such a massive amount of the room. For the kids, they have so much space to play and work and grow.
For sure.
But from a design aesthetic, it's a little tricky to kind of nail. So I try to just play with the wallpaper and some wood treatment and placement to make it feel cozy. And
yeah, I also think too, this is like where function comes into play. You get a desk, a dresser, and a bed. The kids die over them.
Yeah.
Love the whole hideout situation, and it's kind of a win-win. So moving from Audrey's room, let's go into Jacob's room and tell me a little bit about his whole situation.
Yeah, he's got, again, especially like what we lean into for Little Salt, we try to create these rooms that can age up with them. So in his room, just given the whole aesthetic in the house, I played with Roman clay and a really fun wall treatment on the back that I just don't think he'll get sick of.
Yeah.
When I designed that room, he was so young. So how do I create something that's like neutral and cool that can age up with him? I wanted to have places where everyone could sleep. So that's why I did the double bunk, which eventually can be pulled out, and then also create that loft-like moment as well. So again, something that can just really truly age up with him.
Yeah, so smart. So upstairs there's this main area that everybody shares. Personally, I love it because it's where the kids watch the movies. We can put them upstairs when they start to get a little wiry.
So I think like that was more kid-inspired a little bit. I still wanted it to be able to age up with them. I still wanted to make sure it had all the things to house the toys. What we always say, Pure Solid, toy basket. Toys in the basket with the lid, or cabinets where you can hide them. So a lot of that up there with like the console and the baskets. I also took like a linen cabinet that we had and I turned it into a homework center. So basically just transformed it into a desk area. So as they get older, again, want to be here for a while, they can do their homework and stuff up there. Just got all their coloring stuff and just, all the things that they need to do their daily stuff.
And I think that's so cool for them because then they have a place to house all their things and they care about it a lot more than if it's just kind of scattered throughout the house. They like take pride in like taking care of their little space. Hopefully that's the goal. And I think it's also such a good representation of your family. And like that to us is like the core thing in all projects everywhere. So well done, my friend. I love this home.
Thanks, girl.
We will be sharing a ton more. We'll be doing it at a couple more projects, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.
Thanks.